Hi everyone. Welcome back. Welcome back everybody. Good to see you, my dear friends, once again. Um, Now the sun is going down and we have a second try or second chance to record the video. Uh, I was inspired for this topic again. A lot of men are upset that Ukrainian ladies or Russian ladies or honestly any other um, ladies that they meet do not tell them the truth, or maybe even lying about something or hiding something, um, or maybe the situation is that a lot of men are not ready to hear the truth. And the ladies know that. They know if they would have told you the truth, you would have been upset. You would have been mad. You would have been angry. And sometimes what happens is they tell you what you want to hear because you are not ready to hear the truth. A lot of men are trying to, especially in international dating, in Slavic dating dynamics, a lot of men are trying to date girls, women who are, in many aspects, are out of their league. Or not even that. I would say just not a good match. I was talking with a friend today, and we kind of compared ladies and cars. I know it's kind of a shallow comparison, but nevertheless, uh, some cars you look at them, you find them exotic, you find them interesting, you find them unusual, unique, special, but you maybe only rent that car for a day because you can't maintain it or you don't have a possibility to take care of it long term, or it doesn't fit your lifestyle. If you live in the country, you don't want to have sports car or Lamborghini or anything like that because you live in the country and you have bad roads, especially if you're in Michigan. So you don't want to have that car, and maybe the only reason you want to have for a day because you are trying to make an impression on somebody, right? You may even not want it, but it looks good and you can get attention. So we compare that to ladies. And sometimes you admire and enjoy something, but it's not necessarily yours. You're not harmonious with it, you can't maintain it, it doesn't fit your lifestyle. Sometimes the same with ladies. You wish you would have you wish you would have an opportunity, but you may enjoy the communication, but you know that in the long run it probably won't work just because you're not a good match, not because for many other reasons, but you just know the compatibility is not really there, even though it would be wonderful if it would be, right? Welcome everyone. Yes, I'm back. The last video got cut off. So, you can always blame the circumstance. You can always say, oh, women nowadays are, so dishonest. But the truth is, we really surround ourselves with people who reflect us. If you find that ladies are not honest with you, that they are not telling the truth or they are lying to you, ask yourself a question. Why is this a pattern in your history, and who is the common denominator? Sometimes it's all right to take a breather and take a break and just tell the truth. The thing is, if you tell the truth to yourself, you don't need ladies to tell you the truth. When you are honest with yourself, you don't need, you would be a lot more you would be a lot more accepting of the truth. You would be a lot more comfortable with this, and you won't even need to hear it. You would already know it. You would already know what's up, and you will just enjoy your experiences, and you would not be creating the circumstance when you get played and when you get lied to. Because first of all, you would take an honest look at this. I will link a video that I made probably 3 years ago, and it's called "Why Russian or Ukrainian Women Lie." We talked about white lies and excuse topics. It was one of my popular videos, I would say, at the time. So I will, if you hadn't seen it, I will link it below. I don't really want to repeat things that I shared there, but you can watch it, or you can just Google or YouTube why do Russian women lie, and it will pop. So yes, a lot of us, we want to be lied to. We want to wait for excuses. We want to, even when you see the truth, you see that the person just no longer interested. Sometimes your ego is hurting and you try to justify their behavior. Before that video cut off, I was saying that very often in a relationship, a husband or wife or knows that one of them is having some kind of affair, or maybe even online affair or something. They know it, but they just they don't want to know the truth. It's really easy to withhold uh, the truth when somebody don't want to know it. I actually was talking with a man who told me that his wife basically gave him a permission on having extramarital relationship, and she told him, as long as I don't know about it. She actually told him so. She kind of gave him a permission, and she said, yeah, as long as I don't know about it, go ahead. So that is just an example of, you get upset because the lady don't give you the full spectrum, but even if she would tell you the truth, you would turn it around, you would deny it, you would think it's a joke, but actually she tells you the truth. And coming back to the situation, with viruses and not be able to travel, all that nonsense, that when somebody really wants to see you, there is nothing that can stop them. Yes, sometimes you change the dates. Sometimes you have certain deadlines and commitments, but you don't change your plans uh, or cancel them completely forever because of external circumstance when you have internal motivation to do something. And this is how you can see when somebody tells you they cannot meet with you 5 months, 6 months into the quarantine, or they waiting for vaccine or permission. That is not true. You understand it's a lie. But you have to just reactivate your discernment, and understanding that, well, maybe it wasn't that genuine to begin with. Maybe I was in this battle by myself and this is just a perfect timing. This is a timing for disingenuine, for scammers to thrive, because they have perfect excuse that's gonna be long lasting, right? So I would like to hear from you, my dear friends. The sun is going down, so daylight gonna be cut off. Hey William, good to see you. Yes, good old Blab, I remember those days. Thank you for stopping by. Good to see you, my friend. Terry, what do you mean love is the only virus we need to cure for? Love is you don't need to be cured from love. I told you before, love does not hurt. The manipulation hurts, dishonesty hurts. When people trying to make believe, that hurts. No, it doesn't. come on, it's not a sickness, no. Yeah, well, you have I think the nature have it so that we have a little bit of obsession in the beginning, so we overlook certain things. We have to overlook a little bit because, listen, if we all have to have a little bit of deception to be successful in life, maybe if you tell every single detail about you, if you tell every single detail, everything that ever happened, everything you felt, you're gonna be the most boring and unpleasant person in the world. So we all of us, um, keeping certain things for ourselves, not necessarily lying or uh, trying to manipulate somebody. It's completely different. I don't consider lie when you have some personal things and you hold them for yourself. Because if you don't, you can be very overwhelming and very unpleasant. So I want to ask you in the chat, why do you think that ladies sometimes are deceiving? And even a better question, take responsibility off from the ladies and ask yourself a question. Are you ready for the truth? Are you ready to hear the truth? When you pursuing a woman and she's not really interested and she shows this to you, but you keep pursuing her, are you ready for the truth? Or you try to avoid it at all costs? The problem with excuse about pandemics and quarantines is you put responsibility on the circumstance you can't control. When you put responsibility on a circumstance you can't control, you really show that you really hide behind it. Because yes, of course, there is a reality. There was a certain month when you could not purchase an airplane ticket, but that was only short period of time, and it's now had changed. So yes, maybe there is 5 to 10% of the situation when you need to conform and say, okay, let's make a different plan. But when you hide behind it, it's a completely different situation. It's a great excuse, and I just want you guys, I appreciate you so much. I appreciate you following the channel, supporting the channel. I don't want you to spend another 9 months thinking that, when vaccine will be here, she will meet me. No, she won't. She will have another reason. Watch my video about why do Ukrainian ladies lie or Russian ladies lie. Her grandma gonna be in the hospital, your dog gonna have an operation. The truth is, if she would tell you, actually no, I'm not waiting for a vaccine, but I'm really not that attracted to you, or I really don't like you that much, or I don't really see myself with you, would you be ready to hear that answer? I'm gonna say this again. If she would actually tell you the raw truth, would you be okay with that answer? When somebody tells you what they really think, they do save you a lot of time. Everybody's saying yes. Everybody is a warrior over here. I do think when people tell you the truth, you have control of what you want to do. Okay, let's see what Terry is saying over here. See some good comment. Lies are a defensive mechanism, maybe to have out if good enough or if they're rejected, maybe to make it for an exciting life. I'm sorry, I'm reading the comment. Um, Lies, it could be a defensive mechanism, but it could be, yeah, protecting, defensive, also could be, manipulating. But the truth is, if you listen to this one, guys, if you are not lying to you, it doesn't even matter what she says. You can observe what happens, you can observe and see her interests, her responses. It doesn't really matter what she says. Same as for her, it doesn't matter what you say, it's what you do. It doesn't matter what you tell her, it's what you do. It's how you take care of her, how you um, support her, and all of that. And same for you. It's how she shows interest or how she connects with you. When you tell yourself the truth, it's not that important what anybody else is saying, because if you connected with yourself um, internally, you know when somebody is avoiding something. You perfectly know that. You perfectly know it. Your intuition tells you the red flags, the sirens are going off, right? You know, most men that I talked to, through my consulting, that were in a long distance or long term, actually long term marriage, and or long term relationships, they all knew that there were a bunch of red flags, but they did not want to hear the truth. They do not want to hear it. They do not want to know it. They just want to be lied to. They were happy to be lied to so they can hold to that idea. They were happy to be lied to so they don't need to change or do anything. So when you think about it, it's not really about other person. It's about you being authentic and listening to your signals. Because when people are not genuine with us, we feel it. But unfortunately, very often our entire life we are taught to ignore our feelings, our intuition. Uh, you guys call it God feeling, but you can't control or change other people. You can only do something about yourself. People do not owe you anything. They do not. You can't make somebody do something. You don't want to dedicate your entire life to make somebody accountable. Terry, you have such a romantic outlook in life. You associate, you remind me all these, romantic movies and romantic songs. It's so sweet to see that, there are men who still believe in pure romance. So thank you for the inspiration, Terry. It's always amazes me when people who went through a lot of things still have that purity and light about them. I can totally connect with that, and I appreciate that, especially when we're talking about a sensitive subject like that. Um, you see, Matt is saying something about some women are broken, can be fixed. It's not about them. I feel like the day people will realize that it's not about the other person, it's about you. Is it working out for you or not? Is it working out? That's all you need to answer. The way you get treated, the way you feel around this person, is this working out for you or not? You can't control them, you cannot change them, you cannot make them tell you the truth. But if you are present and if you're not lying to you, if you're not lying to yourself, you know the truth. You don't need a confirmation, you don't need a stamp, you don't need a permission. to trust your own feelings. Most ladies in the very beginning, in early stages, they don't tell you the truth, um, because they feel it's going to be such a hassle if they tell you the truth, and they just tell you directly, no, my grandma is actually not in the hospital, she died 15 years ago, but I just don't like you, that's why I don't want to go out with you. It's very difficult, and the interesting thing is, most of us avoid saying things directly, I say 70 to 80% of the time. When you cross the street, or you cross the restaurant for a woman that took your breath away, you don't come to her and say, wow, you are stunning. I hope whatever we talk about today will lead us to my bedroom. I just really hope. I'll say anything you want to hear, but the only thing I would like to get is us in my bedroom. Could you say this to a woman? You cannot say these things, but the truth is we are all driven by certain instincts and desires. Um, but we also have social norms. We also have adequate time to create trust when things like this happen naturally, right? Um, you don't, if you're in sales, you don't just knock to someone's house and say, hey, I just want you to buy this. Yes, you can try it, but it's probably not gonna work because you hadn't built trust, you hadn't built a relationship, you didn't build connection, rapport. So you have a tiny, teeny, slim to none chance that if you offer somebody right away directly, they won't slap you. The same lady that you cross the room for, if you actually say something like that, uh, 3 months or 6 months after, when you connected, when you spent time together, I don't know, traveled, got to know each other, she may get quite excited. She may even laugh, or you probably wouldn't say it exactly that way, but even if you would, it would have a totally different flavor to it, and it would be a totally different result. And even if you admit to her that that's what you were thinking, she would just laugh, because at this moment she has trust and she feels secure with you. It's about establishing relationships. People do not owe you the truth, they do not owe you anything. They have not been signing papers, they have not been in any contract agreement with you, so they're gonna do them, and it's your job to see if you feel, it's not like, when people tell you certain facts about them, they tell you about their travels, do you ask them, oh, you know what, you mentioned you were in Greece 3 years ago, do you have pictures of you in Greece? Because if you don't have these pictures, I don't believe you. No. By the way the person tells you the story, they are laughing, they sharing their emotions, you you would love to see the pictures of them having fun in Greece or any other place, but you feel that, yeah, you don't need to see something to believe it. Sometimes the man tell a lady that, oh, I'm separated, or I am going through divorce, but you totally know that he is not separated and he is not going through any divorce. He just want to have a chance with you. As a woman, I can tell you, we feel these things. You don't ask for paperwork, you just know this is wrong and this is not a good idea. Unless, as a woman, you decide to give in into this and then have your heart broken after a year. Just because you ignored the red flags and you ignored your pain, which was screaming. Yes, he didn't tell you, he were not going to tell you, but you could have avoided that whole situation if you would have listened. You don't always need paperwork and proofs for everything. When you know something is wrong, it's wrong. Bill, there is no quick way to establish trust. That is the thing. Trust builds over time. That's the point of it. And it builds naturally. When you feel that every day you can do more and more, you can talk about more and more things, you feel more and more comfortable. As I said, not everything needs a proof. But in the instant gratification society, people want things to be granted. You know, people want instant access to everything. Um, and this is just a natural. That is the whole point of it, that it's a slow process, and sometimes it just flows, and it's, you don't even have inside of you, you don't even have a question of mistrusting. It's just you grow connection, and it's kind of like a snowball. It grows. You never even have the moment of doubting things. It's like a flower. You just let it blossom. That's what it is. Pretty much, Terry. That's a great point. Trust sounds like when you are building up your credit. That's exactly true. And I can relate to it because, some of you know that I'm been in US only for 10 plus years. I didn't have a bad credit. I just had no credit. So that's exactly true. You do more and more, and you feel good, and you share more things, and maybe you invest on different levels in another person. Yeah, but on the other hand, I feel that sometimes you have a short interactions with people. Sometimes you may even not plan to see them again, but you have the most open, the most genuine conversations. How many of you traveled, and you travel somewhere, and you just speak with somebody on a train or on a plane or at the bar, when you're waiting for your plane, and you have the most inspiring, the most genuine conversation? It also happens because you're not planning on necessarily staying in touch. It's not needed or necessary, but you have no reason to play some role. You actually have a chance to really share how you feel. I definitely can relate to these experiences, and it's a wonderful experience to feel. When the person is genuine with you, it flows. It doesn't have tension. It doesn't have, some kind of detachment. It's not contradicting itself. It just open and inviting. It's open and inviting, and you feel relaxed and accepted, and you feel seen. These are the major signs of just natural trust, if I say so myself. Let's see what time it is. 8:55. Sun is beautifully going down. Oh, thank you, Terry. Yes, it's a beautiful, beautiful summer, and lots of nice sunshine. Thank you so much. So that's what I wanted to share with you, my dear friends. Hello, Wayne. Um, so if you mistrust everybody, if you overthinking it, then you cannot ever meet somebody who will be open with you, because people that we draw into our close connection, people who we draw close to ourselves, uh, If they stay there for a long time, they are mirroring us. They are resonating with us in some way. So if you say that everybody is flawed, you know, people, if their lips are moving, they are lying. If you are kind of going on this side, you can never get love. You can never get. Um, if hearts are falling from the sky and you have an umbrella, you can't get it. So, make a long story short, once again, don't worry about other people, worry about you. When you feel something is not right, you don't need a confirmation, you know, a doctor's approval or a stamp, or you don't need somebody's permission to have your feelings. Your feelings are never wrong because you feel certain way. It happens for a reason. But unfortunately, we were taught to suppress our feelings, and I feel that in Western society, maybe even more so, because you have to be politically correct. You know, you have to avoid telling the truth because it could be offensive. But don't worry about others. Don't worry about proving things to others. When you know something is off, say it to you. Say it to you and act accordingly, because nobody owes you anything. Terry, um, love can definitely be felt. You may not be able to touch it with your fingers, like you said, but it's definitely felt. It's definitely felt, and it does need to be forced. It's just there. Thank you, Bill. That is, thank you so much. I'm very glad to hear that. Um, I'm talking about the inspiring comment. Thank you. That's the goal of this channel. It doesn't take any courage to put somebody down, but inspiration takes creativity and takes some good energy. I agree, Matt. I agree with that. Love is more than a feeling, but we're just talking about different aspects. It's a lot of things. It's a verb. Somebody commented, love is definitely a verb. Terry, I believe that. I do. I believe that. But I also believe that you often call love things that are not exactly that. I believe in your intentions and things that you feel because I know how you see the world. I can feel it. But I know you're gonna do well. I know that things are in your hands and you have a great sense of discernment at this point. At least I believe so. And we do go through experiences. We do take things uh, sometimes not the way they really are. But this is how we learn, right? This is how we learn. We don't come with manuals, even though that would be nice. My gosh, thank you so much, my dear friends, for the thumbs up and for joining my unexpected stream, and thank you so much, everyone, for comments and things. I may be going live not as often, but everything is still on. Sometimes more is less. Sometimes you need to reflect and do groundwork, back work. Sometimes you need to work on your own life. take time off, recharge process, do the boring work, and to be able to bring value. Because you can bring a lot of value when you are not doing it to your own life. You can't really inspire others when you're not in that mode. I agree with that, Terry. Terry is saying the world is a wonderful place. It is for everyone. Just look at life. Yes. Good things, okay, I'm going to finish with this. Good things come naturally, they flow, they are effortless. What I mean is when you're around somebody and you're not tensed, you're not anxious, you don't have your face don't break in hives. Um, you don't have tension and fear and anxiety. Good things, yes, as a man you need to put an effort and show your intentions and do a little bit of chase and pursuing. But when you are with a person, if it's not feeling effortless and flowing and pleasant and just natural, mm, it means it's not. You can fake a lot of things, but you cannot fake joy. You cannot fake passion. You cannot fake connection. You cannot. You can try to, but you cannot. So with that being said, I wish you a wonderful evening, and I will see you soon. Thank you so much for joining, everybody.